Welcome to Season 3 of Pod Practice with Team USA player Quinn, Team USA Grandmaster player Mikey, and myself, Alex Atkins. You can now find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. We want to keep growing the Pod Practice community, so reach out to us with your thoughts on IG and YouTube at podpractice_pod, or email us at show@podpracticepod.com. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
How many times has he taken out a shovel and dug up some gold for this Mooncatchers side? As they take home the medals, retain their championship, and you've got to say it's deservedly so. Mooncatchers are your 2025 European Ultimate Club Series winners in the Open Division.
Welcome back.
Good to see you guys.
Mr. Worldwide, Mikey Lund, the guy.
Is that me?
That's you. You were there for like what, 4 days?
I left last Wednesday for Europe. So we had regionals the previous weekend. Got home Sunday. Spent a couple days here. Left Wednesday. I was sick as a dog too when I left. Man, it's terrible.
Yikes.
It was not a fun flight. Got there Thursday local time in Wroclaw, and then flew back yesterday, so Monday.
Jesus.
And gained 12 hours. So I feel like I'm already back on US time.
Well, because you never were off there.
Yeah, I guess.
What you drinking there, Quinn? Is that carrot juice?
It is
Turmeric?
carrot juice. Carrot, ginger, apple, lemon.
Where'd you get
Does
that?
Devin makes it.
Dude, that's sick.
Special hamstring healing properties, I hope.
I hope so. Hasn't worked so far.
Do you have a juicer?
Yeah.
What kind? Nama?
It's not a very nice one, honestly. It's kind of a cheapo. It's probably like a Ninja or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja's a good brand, isn't it?
I think
Not
it's kind
the
of like
juicing
a
world.
mid-brand. Yeah.
I've done some research, so
I feel like you must be missing your juicer, huh, Kins? Did you leave it back here in Colorado?
It. Well, no, I gave that to Della, so it was never really mine. It was a gift.
Oh, it was like a Christmas
I'm going to take that back now.
Like 1 year warranty. Nah, it sounds good though.
Well, it's been a while since the three of us have been together. Actually, just the three of us.
Months.
Maybe since the last time I gotten back from Europe.
Honestly.
We got a lot to talk about without a guest.
Mm-hmm.
One, we don't hang out anymore. But a big regionals weekend. I didn't write down the notes, but UFA Awards were just announced. I don't know if we. Congrats to Toba. How about that? Congrats to the Belgian boys.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool.
And our boy Tanner Jansen go Bode. Actually, I had dinner with Toner or drinks with Toner last week, and he spoiled that one for me. I don't know if it's okay for me to say that out loud, but I was stoked to hear because my first thought was Tanner. Like, was it just not just like defensively, but he was a machine off the turn. Like he just.
That's what I was saying. It's really the defensive, offensive player.
Yeah,
player of the year.
Yeah.
Evidently, he had amazing pulls too.
But I'm cool with that.
Yeah, me too.
D-line. It's not like
D-line player of the year.
Yeah, I was most stoked about his award. The other ones are kind of cool, but
yeah,
I'm most excited about his.
Yeah, like I guess a guy that maybe doesn't get the spotlight as much or hasn't since college, I guess.
I mean,
Don had it locked up since he was like 2 to win the Rookie of the Year the first year he came in. So it's just kind of like that one was obvious.
If Chicago makes championship weekend, do you think Don maybe wins the award?
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. And honestly, I bet if Boston doesn't win, Tanner probably doesn't get Defensive Player of the Year. That's how they skew so heavily to like the winning team. It seems like if a different team won, Tanner wouldn't have gotten it. I don't think.
Yeah, you might be true. I do think the awards do seem to get swayed pretty heavily by championship weekend.
Not to say that Tanner shouldn't have gotten it. I was just
or that's like the incorrect way of deciding those things.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have on the tip of your tongue, Kins?
No, I was just thinking about like who else I'd even think about for like I don't know some of the other awards, but I haven't really thought
Bode?
about it. Yeah, like I hadn't really thought about it that much.
When Toner and I were talking about it in previous years, it had been more like pure block getters, I guess. Like last year,
Kuhlman. Did Kuhlman have the most blocks?
Kuhlman did lead the league in blocks
in the regular
season. He was
season.
First team.
Yeah. Babbitt tied him in the end, but Babbitt got
did he?
3 extra games.
Okay.
2 extra games,
well,
I guess.
I do. Actually, but he played fewer regular season games.
Oh, yeah,
I think so.
That's
from what
true.
Kuhlman told me, like the blocks per game, Babbitt has him like
a
wide margin or something.
Yeah, I think he did. He did miss a few games. I forgot.
Coleman got first team UFA.
Defense.
Defensive first team. Yeah. There's a lot of first teams. Is there an offensive first team? No. Just a first team UFA, which I suppose implies all offensive players. That's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Definitely.
You gotta have.
That's like how the NBA works too, right? There's no offensive first team.
There's
just a first team. And
I guess
first
that
team
makes
all
sense.
defense.
Yeah, that's true. There's an offensive player of the year though, isn't there?
In the NBA?
Yeah, isn't there?
Bro, I should probably know that.
I don't think so.
I don't know if there is. There's because there's the 6-man, but yeah, I don't
there
know if
is
the offensive. There is in club.
I think you just win the scoring title.
Yeah, that might be it. But in club, there's an offensive player of the year.
Too much going on.
Ultimate, yeah.
Dude, I can't keep track of anything.
Yeah, you just get back from European stuff.
Yeah. Do you guys want to backtrack to regionals?
I do, yeah. Let's start with Regis.
Should we start with Pacmen?
Sure.
Yeah.
Start with
give us some Pacmen, like give us some hype too, because all I know is like you and the Grossberg boys, and those Grossbergs are killing it for sure.
Yeah.
But tell us more, like who deserves some props, and how was the weekend?
Well, I mean, the weekend is honestly, it's like whatever. We're so far above, like the not national teams. Like we've just every time we've played them, we've crushed them. But then we're still like young, and this is the first time a Philly team is qualified. I don't know. I don't have an actual number of how many people on the team have been to nationals before, but it's like 5, because Adam's been there. Paul Owens has been there. I guess Sam probably went with Amp. Maybe, because they didn't make it last year, so I don't even know if he played on the team before. Anyway, the point is there's not that many people that have been to nationals.
Yeah, Patrol made it in 16?
Yeah, because before I was on the team, so like it's been
you didn't make it with.
I think
you didn't make it with Patrol.
No,
Patrol. I think Patrol made it in 16 or 17.
My first club nationals was Lotisserie Chicken.
Lotisserie Chicken.
Yeah. So, but it was fun. Like, I was really excited for our game against Chuck, because previous to that, like, our only real game had been against Sockeye. And, it's just good to get those reps and get like tested against like some pressure. The thing is Chuck only turned it over once on offense. Like, we definitely have to, we have to be. I think when you haven't played a lot of those teams yet, you're just like, there's just a lot to learn when you do go and play them.
Do you, what do you feel like the ceiling is for the team, or maybe the baseline?
I mean, me, I'm delusional. So like my ceiling is like, I think we can beat anyone. I think like realistically, it's just like when you're such a new and like inexperienced team, like it's, you need a lot of those reps before you're like going to be able to win those really hard games consistently. But I think like talent wise, I feel like we have, plenty of talent, like all the talent necessary, really. There's a lot of really good young players you were talking about. Like there's the Grossbergs. There's obviously Nate Little is really good, like on defense wise. This kid Max Tran, little kid who goes to Penn. He's a beast. He started our vault game with the layout D on the centering pass, which is like so hilarious. There's so many. There's the thing is, I don't even want to play this game because I could go down like this whole list, and I do feel like a lot of it is like there's so many good young players, and it's just like it's two things. It's like one, getting a little bit of belief in yourself, which also comes from when you start to like beat the teams, and they start to like build on each other, and you start to like realize that you can be like, just as good as any player on like truck or whatever, insert like a high level team. So I think like all the guys, pretty much like most of the guys on the roster have like very high ceilings, and it's just figuring it out as a team and putting it together. Like,
what are the emotions like? Are people feeling confident?
I mean, I think people are just like I'm saying, like most people are just stoked to go to nationals. Like they have never been to nationals before, like I think they were feeling like it's tough for me. Like, I don't know what other people are feeling because I just think I feel differently than them. Like when we were beating Vault and whatever, like I was like expecting it, and it just felt very, I don't know, easy, I guess. And I think a lot of people were just really, probably a little more nervous because they hadn't got that monkey off their back before. And then when they beat them, it's like, this is sick. Like we're going to nationals. I've never been to nationals before. Where I guess I've just gotten more used to it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a really exciting experience for a lot of them for that reason.
Totally. And I mean, I love like the way our team is comprised, and like I love our O line, like having the Grossbergs, and then we have like a bunch of pretty solid players, like filling out. Who I think just like it's the same thing where like I think like because I think about like that Bravo team that won, like there's a bunch of people that before you win, it's like they don't know one like is like, oh, this player, but then like as soon as you have a little bit of success, like it completely changes your view of like you realize you just like look at like their one strength. And I think like a lot of it is like when you're playing on a good team, you're just like your strengths are being put on the table so that you can perform well, and you're not asked to do things that like you're not good at and like whatever. And so it's like you have a couple games where people are like utilizing their strengths, and you do well as a team, and all of a sudden, people are going to be like, holy shit, like we're really good. We can,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's so true about there's so many young players that are capable of so much. And there's a huge portion of the community that doesn't necessarily believe that, or is maybe just waiting for them to prove it before they're willing to admit it. But
totally.
I'm excited to see how you guys do, because I know a lot of those players are totally legit, and it does, like you were talking about, or kind of remind me of the 22 Bravo team, in that there were just some talented young guys that just hadn't shown it yet.
Totally.
People just hadn't seen it consistently, but they have shown it.
Totally.
Yeah.
They just haven't had success as a team before. I think for me, like the biggest thing is just figuring out like how do I like carry myself in a way that instills the most confidence in everyone, because I truly believe that we can beat everyone. And like, I truly believe that we could win, 4 games in a row against like the best teams in the country, if like on a given like weekend. And so it's just like, how do I, you at that point, you just got to like, I think I just got to live it, cause I really feel that way. So it's just kind of figuring out how to go out there and like lead by example in that way. Cause that's, I think one of like the biggest things I can do for the squad is like, I have so much belief in all the other people and the squad. So it's like, if I can just let that trickle on to some of the other people, then,
I was hoping we'd draw you. That would have been.
That would've
was
been-
hoping
that
we.
would've been
I was
crazy.
hoping we didn't. I was so glad we didn't. I did not want to have to.
Yeah, it would
That
be
would not have been
a
fun
scary
for me.
game for
That
sure.
would not have been fun for me.
That would have been electric.
Do you think the 2 seed is good or bad? Are you guys paying attention to that? Do you think it's like a good or bad thing for you guys' mental game? What anything about that?
I don't know how it like affects us. Like I do think I'm sure that it's so tough. Like I just don't know what people's heads are at, you know? Like for me,
Because like on one end, like people are saying it's like, well, maybe you guys aren't an actual 2 seed and you kind of like their rankings kind of skewed you up there. And maybe people are thinking that to themselves, or maybe people are thinking like, oh, we're a 2 seed. Like that, maybe that gives people confidence is kind of what I'm thinking. Like
Mhm.
it can kind of go both ways.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I would say like I do think our like ranking is inflated, you know, because like,
Sure.
we didn't go to any of the like elite whatever tournaments, and the most of it is because of that win against Truck at the Philly Open, which just like
Yeah.
isn't important really.
But
in the
then
grand
again, it's
scheme
like-
of things.
They don't let you go to the elite tournaments anyway. So it's so either you get an inflated ranking or you don't get a good ranking at all because you're not invited to anything to get a good ranking. Like
Totally.
sick fucking system, guys.
Totally. Yeah, I don't know if it really has a big effect on like mindset. I just
Yeah,
I like our pool, and I think it's
definitely.
like I feel good about all that. And I guess
Remind
like
me your
if
pool
I've
right
learned
now.
one thing, it's like that the seeding just is like so irrelevant
It's
when it
random.
comes
Doesn't
down to
matter.
it. For the most
guys-
part,
It doesn't
especially
matter.
like for those top 3 teams, you know, I do think like for most pools, there's like a bit of a drop off to the fourth.
Usually like
team.
the top 8. Oh, the 3 in
You
the
know
pool.
what I
see
mean?
what
Like the
you're
top
saying.
3
I
in
see
the
what you're saying.
pool.
That's- yeah,
Maybe
totally,
there's like
exactly.
one pool that, but I don't know.
Has,
If
like,
I
a
had to
weaker
look,
3
like
seed,
it's
yeah.
usually like the top 3 are probably advancing, and you know,
And they're any of those basically have a shot at winning nationals. It seems.
yeah, and sometimes maybe the 1 seed is like actually like significantly
Yeah.
better. But
Yeah.
Mikey, we have Pony as
Pony.
our 1 seed, and then we have Chain, and then we have the Condors.
I think people are dogging on Chain just because they lost to RDU at regionals, but it's like they're
I lear-
obviously still good.
I
and
get
regionals
totally,
is
bro.
fucking
And I learned
regionals,
my
dude.
lesson last year. It was the same
It's
thing where
so
it was like Chain is
Unreal.
yes,
They're good.
Chain is like they have some losses like every once in a while that you're like, that's weird. Why did they lose to them? But if you think that going into a game, then they just fucking roll you because they actually
Yeah.
have so much
Yeah, 'cause
talent.
they're good.
Yeah, because they have so much.
Regionals results are such a trap. Like regionals results are so stupid. Regionals is such
Honestly,
a weird tournament.
Now it's regular season results are just a trap.
USAU is a trap.
Yeah, it's so hard to know. They're really you're right. It's just about getting out of pool play. You know,
Totally,
Like,
just get out.
they've-
Get out.
everybody's been talking about.
Except now, if you get a bye when you play after you play your pre-quarter, you're guaranteed to do well. Apparently, according to Alti World. So
What does that
Is
mean?
what were they saying? Oh,
I don't- they wrote
you mean
this
talking about Tim Shock's?
is that I don't even know. I didn't
It
even
was
read
Tim
it.
Shock's article. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I didn't even read it. My mom just texted me.
I haven't read it either. I've gotten the synopsis.
Something about like if you win your pre-quarters, then some teams have a break and others play right away, and the ones
And
that
if you have a break, you have a way better chance of winning your quarter or something like that.
I mean, that makes
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Does it need to be an article? Of course. Oh my God, we get a break.
Yeah.
It's like,
Real
oh my
light
God, we don't
bulb
have to play
moment.
pre-quarters. We get one less game. We
Well,
have
I
an
can
advantage.
see if it makes sense if he's trying to garner support for them being like to
Make it even.
make it
Like,
more even. Yeah.
I think my mom was mostly mad about it because it was a picture. The picture was a picture of me when we won nationals, and it said the caption below it was Quinn Finer at 2022 nationals, who may have been aided by a bye after their pre-quarter.
Right. That's annoying.
And that pissed my mom off so
Yeah.
much. I think.
Well, that's annoying for sure.
may have been aided by.
And then now that you're
Your
saying Tim
dirty
Shock
bye.
wrote it, I didn't even fucking know Tim Shock wrote it. But we beat them in quarters.
Yeah, that is really funny.
He's still upset about
You're
that. huh?
spending that by just doping. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes a difference. But I think the more interesting thing is that teams from pre-quarters can win, and that is clear. You can win from pre-quarters. You do not need to win your pool to win nationals.
Yeah.
Right. For sure. but it is nice. So that's the goal.
It's very nice.
Super
That's the goal. How about a break
Yeah.
during the pre-quarters round and after?
yeah.
That sounds pretty sick. Where's that
Yeah,
article?
what are the stats
I'd like to
on
know
that?
those stats.
But
yeah.
Two of the last 3 years that the champion had an extra game. So who knows?
But yeah, overall it's really cool, and it's just like cool being on it. Like, it's fun. I don't know. It's such a different.
Talk
role.
a little bit about your like role with the team and how you've been fitting in. And how it's different from here.
Well, the main difference is that I'm like, like
you're an old head now.
Yeah, exactly. For like all intents and like not really, because there's still a lot of people that are older than me or my age on the team, but like it feels like that because the team is really young, and
also like you probably have the most national experience.
I think that's what it is. It's like from an experience standpoint, I'm like
like you can be old, but you don't have like big game experience. And
Yeah.
you're not like
exactly.
you're unk.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like from that
Pumpkins.
standpoint, it's kind of fun. Because like I said, it's like trying to just like lead the charge, like inspire the troops through my actions of like, I feel like I know that we can do it, and I want everyone else to, and I hope that everyone else is like sharing that same belief. Yeah.
What happened with you in fall in the truck game?
No, so that was
No, I'm curious.
Yeah. So that was funny. So it started earlier in the point.
Well, it was funny because it's the first clip I'd seen of you in like months, and you were like squaring up to like fist fight with the entire truck team.
Yeah. I'm just
Truck stop loves you.
Yeah. I'll tell you. Well, truck stop. It's just like people are just so. Like we turned it over, and Adam and Fall, I guess, were being physical, and then like Adam like pushed Fall like after the turnover, and Fall called a foul, and like they kind of like pushed each other. So they were like, so it started because Adam and Fall were being heated, and it started earlier in the point because then like whatever, Fall called a foul and whatnot, and then after the point, so what happened is. Then who was it? Jasper made like the really nice catch over Adam.
Yeah, they sent Thomas threw it to Jasper D.
And so that was the point. That was the point that Fall and Adam had whatever been like heated a little bit. So then
everybody was yelling at him because he got.
So then Fall was like yelling at Adam, but like not like to him. He's just like running around like over there. But it didn't even matter. And then I was walking away, and then I think my teammate Drew said something or maybe did something, but then he was walking away. But the only reason I did anything is because what I saw is I turned around, Drew is walking away, and Timon and Fall are just like yelling at Drew, like wow, like his back is turned to them and he's walking towards us, and they're like yelling at him from behind. So I just went over and was like, yo, what the fuck? Like I said, I think in the video it's like me just being like, get the fuck out of his face. But like that was that.
Get the fuck out of his back.
I'm just trying to create peace.
What did you guys do to get Timon to talk? I feel like I haven't seen Timon talk.
Timon always talking shit, man.
Was the game chippy at all?
No, it was just like that. Really, I would say it was just
so
that
weird.
point.
Like that happened once, and it wasn't like that chippy of a game in general.
Yeah, I think it was just like it's just like a hype game because
totally. I'm sure you guys are like really hyped up with like chip on your shoulder
totally
too. Like totally. Yeah.
It was really fun, but it's so annoying because they play so well, man. Like they had one turn.
Did you think? Yeah. Do you think the one turn? Obviously, they played well on offense. It's hard to have one turn against anybody. But do you think you guys like had another level to like on D in terms of pressure, or were they just clean? Yeah.
I mean, a big thing is like we were trying to win the game, but we had to. But it's not like we were going to go all out and like go super tight to win the game because you still have to win the next game. So it's like you're not going to call like the absolute tightest lines and like burn all these people into the ground, like cross everyone over and like do everything you can to win the game because you have another game that you need to win.
Yeah, that's
after.
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So I think from like from like a rotation wise, there's probably like a tightening that could be done against like a team.
A little bit in the back of your head too, even if you're on the field and you're like, especially on defense, you're like, well,
I think in a lot of people's, it was like, it was funny because for me,
even if you don't admit it, like
totally
it's back there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because for me, to a fault, I was like, so not thinking about it at all. Like I am like, I want to win so bad. I just want to beat these guys. But
on offense, I think that's more okay because like you kind of have to do that on offense anyway.
But I'm trying to like cross over. I'm trying to get out there. And Adam did a good. I'm lurking. Adam did a good job of like I think he had it figured out in his head and like was calling the lines and like knew what he was doing. So
yeah.
So I think there's a tightening. And then I think because I don't actually know how we were calling lines, but I do think there's like a little bit of tightening in terms of like who's playing that could be done. And then like the other thing is I think just like experience, like you're saying, like all those reps.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah.
And I also think that truck is really good. And I think that
definitely
they've lost to Revolver both tournaments, right? Like they lost at Pro Champs and US
Well,
Open.
they didn't win a game at Pro Champs. So
wait, Truck.
They were all tight games, but they went 0-6. It was crazy,
6, baby.
Yeah, we talked to Thomas about it on his episode actually.
Not at all.
But it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
They're obviously good. They obviously could have won all those games. They could have gone 6-0.
And because
they're the only
Revolver.
team that has really challenged Revolver.
I just feel like they're so
against
good.
Revolver in quarters at Pro Champs. They had 2 chances to hold and win, and they turned it twice, and Revolver came back and won.
The thing I love about their offense is like even when we are creating pressure against them, they're just so disciplined at resetting, and like they're okay with having like a longer, grindier point, and you're like, it's just kind of insane. Like you think you're doing a good job, like downfield and stuff, and taking away looks and making them.
But then they just swing it and
they just like reset and wait. It's like and they are confident in their resets and like their ability to maintain possession that they rarely ever get like rattled and give you the disc. So then it's like, okay, good job. Like that's pretty sick. So that's what I like about them. I think, and then their defense is. Like they have, I think the strength of their team is their offense. And then I think they have a good, like national elite level defense.
And they have some big playmakers on the D side. Sometimes I wonder why they convert.
They convert.
Yeah, they convert so well.
Like I guess their actual,
especially if AJ's firing well,
which he was, he hit like 2. Like I think their actual defense is like whatever, like mid tier, like nothing crazy for like a nationals level, like
the individuals
totally. But then their conversion rate has to be like one of the best at nationals, and then their offense also. So like offensively, they're just really, really good. And then like if you were taking like they always have like stats for like the NFL, and they're like 1 in defense and like whatever 20th in offense or vice versa. Like I think that's what Truck would be. Like Truck would be like top 3 in like offense on both lines, and then like defensively they're like top 10 or whatever. So they're just super fucking good.
But yeah, like Jasper's such a pest. Fall's gonna make a couple plays.
That's such a good word for their D line. They're just pests, man. They're such pests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, It is a little odd to me that their defense isn't better.
They're kind of small.
Definitely.
Yeah, I suppose they have size at like a couple spots.
I know Charlie had that huge.
He's fucking good at defense.
No, he is.
McCutcheon?
Yeah, dude, he's really fucking good at defense, and his ability to guard up in height is pretty incredible. He's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk European stuff later because I want to talk about defense.
Yeah.
But let's continue on. So anyway, can I speed you along, Kins? Like, so you lose the final to Truck, but whatever, it's good experience.
And then we just smoke vault, and it's like whatever, who cares? Like,
what was the vault score?
It was 15-9, and I think the only reason it was that close because we beat them 57 earlier in the weekend, and I think the only reason it was 15-9 like that close was because
just loosey goosey a little bit.
No, I think there was pressure for a lot of people because they'd never made nationals before. Like this was like a big thing for them. Like like the same thing with the belief and stuff. Like I know that we're a very good team. And I can see like how good we can be. And I think a lot of people it's still like, you know, it's not yeah. It's like
and it felt like your guys' game to lose too, and that's a little bit even more pressure.
Totally. I mean,
game
like,
to goes, man.
Yeah.
Games to go.
Yeah.
I felt so chill. I'm like, we are so much better than these people. I mean, they're just we played truck. They turned it over one time. Vault probably turned it over like 20 times. They're just handing you the disc like at all different parts of the field. It's like it's just
the difference between just getting turnovers versus having to get blocks to get the disc is, I mean,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So yeah, that's what happened. Now we're grinding. I'll shout out my boy that kid Drew. He's lives near me and we've been grinding.
You've been working out together, right?
Yeah, we've been grinding. Oh yeah, because Brian's been posting.
Is he really young?
No, he's like 23, 24.
Oh, okay.
He's graduated school. He's actually going to go back to Penn State for a 5th year. So I guess however old that makes you, because he has his 5th year of eligibility.
23.
Yeah, but that's been enjoyable.
Sweet.
I feel like I saw his name get shouted out somewhere else too, like today. I don't remember where it was.
And he had that AK clip from sectionals when he was just dunking on Garden State. It was the AK. It was like a nice edit from AK on his Instagram.
Was it that crazy? Do you look? He's like a little
like a
psycho coming down on that layout underblock.
Yeah.
Was that it? Oh, I know that one.
And the
got,
sky.
like, longer hair?
Yeah, longer like mullet. Yeah. But so yeah, man. It's I think the big thing is just like a lot of young talent. So it's cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you guys.
Yeah,
hopefully, it would be fun if we do get to play you at some point, man.
Wouldn't it have to be finals?
I mean, who knows how pool play is going to go, right? Like,
I know, but I think if we get first or second, we cross over with Pool A, and if we get third, we cross over with Pool D.
Oh,
so I don't think we can be on the same side as Pool C.
Okay.
All right. Well,
hopefully not consolation.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
You do not want to see Bravo in a consolation game. I will tell you that much.
Consolation Warriors.
Holy shit.
Should we briefly talk about Bravo Regionals?
No, we have to. Because I was going to say, this was actually the last thing I forgot. When we were playing Vault towards the end, some guy from the sideline was like, Kens, Bravo is at Universe Point with double wide. Like, they need you. You got to go. And I was like, we're like playing and I was like, okay, noted. Like, back to the game. And then obviously I had to go like check after the game the results.
It was a spooky game.
That was pretty.
Funny.
That was pretty funny because it was like, you know, we were like 3/4 through the game and he was like yelling about you guys being at Universe.
Yeah, we've been thinking about that game for a long time, for sure. How about Quinn? Before we get to that game, some funny moments throughout the weekend. I'm trying to think. There's definitely the Grant Sunday morning.
A fucking goon, an absolute goon.
Whoa.
At the end of Saturday, he just whips out his electric razor and just starts shaving his head, like just out of the blue. So he's shaving his head. But the better one was, so MJ, his wife, and his kids were there. And he slept at their hotel room on Saturday night.
They had an event.
Say that again.
They had an event to go to.
Yeah.
But it's like the founder of Meow Wolf, I guess. They both have like a connection to him somehow.
Yeah.
And he has some event going on in Austin. And they were both invited to this party. I don't know what it was like.
I don't either, and I don't know. And he
one can only imagine.
I think his kids were being difficult too. So he said he didn't sleep much. Slept through his alarm, and we're all warming up for our first game, like quarters of regionals or whatever. And it's like probably 30 minutes to game time. Everybody's like, where the fuck is Grant? Has anybody heard from Grant? And we're in like the back corner of the complex, like very far from everything. And all of a sudden there's this dude in a robe, just in a robe, nothing else.
Like a robe, like a leisure robe,
like a bathrobe.
Yeah.
No bag.
No bag, because his roommates from the hotel had to bring his bag because he didn't get his bag before he went to sleep in his hotel room with his wife. So his bag was at the fields, and he's running up
but just for
naked
Okay.
under a robe, like jogging up. And it's like we're literally 25, 30 minutes to game time.
He needed that vet rest, that vet day rest. He shouldn't even be playing in that game.
It's a great look. What are you talking about? This is even better than the...
Oh my goodness. What's the thread count?
Yeah, it's high. So I'm sweating right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and then he turfed it at 13s going downwind on the game to go. So,
Well, yeah.
hilarious.
So, is there anything else of note before that game?
yeah, every year Kai has a good friend that I think they played on Oklahoma together.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't remember what this guy
You
looks
probably
like.
remember
I
these
don't
kids.
remember
He's
what
short.
team he plays for or anything like that. But every single year at regionals, they throw the disc to each other like they're on the same team, but they're not. So that happened again, and it hits me every single year.
So we pull. They send it to him. He throws it to Kai.
And Kai immediately, in flow, dishes it back to him like nothing had happened. Like it was.
I
just
didn't even see it this
perfect.
time.
It was so succinct and in flow, and nothing even happened. It was like clap catch, throw back, clap catch, back to offense.
Super weird. That's so odd.
Yeah, it's really odd, but it gets me every year too. Yeah.
Okay, double wide then.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
shame they won't be at nationals. Honestly,
yeah, they're really good.
they're very very solid.
And so they were playing without Mark and Kyle Hankey all year, and
Yeah.
I don't know
And
how long
Xavier.
Xavier
Xavier was out the whole season
Yeah,
too.
he wasn't there
with a
when we played
broken
him.
foot.
Mhm.
So they're three best players. Not playing.
Right? They're probably their three best players. They only use Mark on D, but man, he's a monster.
Mark. I think is their best player.
Based on that, Kyle was the best player on the field.
Oof. I don't know. Mark is
I
so
thought.
good.
I mean, Mark only played. He had one. He was crucial for one break. I'd say he did a great job on Zeke for sure. But this is a game Maddie's been having nightmares about this game for weeks. Plow from the opposite side has been more like, hey, can we just not talk about them? We just focus on us, as kids in the classic Plow way. This really bums me out that we're worried about this one team. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but also we have to win
The
this.
one team that we've
win
lost
this game.
to, 2 out of the 3 years.
Yeah, the
in
last 2
finals.
years.
And it's just it's in Texas. It's an upwind, downwind game. It is just so made. They're so good in the wind. They're so good in that scenario. They just always get us, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, even last year when it was regionals in Colorado, we won 15-11, but we were at 7s and when we were pulling.
I was never worried. That game was. I felt like we killed them that game, honestly, last year.
Yeah, it felt like we were waiting to open it up.
Plus,
Yeah.
and we had the extra bid.
Yeah. And there was no pressure because we had the extra bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, definitely some pressure mistakes in that game. Denny never drops it, and Denny had a drop on our first O point. And it's just it's fucking scary out there.
And we had just won semis 15-2. And a lot of people said that they would have preferred to play Fungi in semis, and I agree because
Definitely.
So Fungi lost to Hip, and we played Hip in semis, right?
Yeah.
But Fungi, I think Hip is the type of team that would love to go to nationals, but they also they're so carefree that they're not.
I don't think they want to go to nationals. I've heard they would just not even accept it if they made it.
That might also be. I would not be surprised with this iteration of Hip.
Yeah.
But Fungi would have continued to put in a ton of effort throughout that game, and I
gave up immediately.
I feel like that just even a twinge more pressure probably could have set us up a little bit better.
Yeah, especially
just
because
to,
double
for
wide
the pressure.
got like it was like 15-11 against Gamble.
It was a wider margin by the end, I think, but
Really?
like they both broke within the first 4 points of the game. Like I was during semis, I was watching Gamble versus double wide just to see if I could get any other information, which I really didn't. But this year's double wide, they run a lot more small ball.
This might have been the best double wide I've seen in a long time, honestly.
They're really good.
They're so good.
Like their defenders are really athletic.
And
It's
like
a
Kim was saying,
shame,
they're so good in the dump set. They never turn it over like in the dump set. Like most of their turns came on like miscommunications with dudes that hadn't played the regular season all year or on deep shots.
Yeah. If they
Like,
run the
they don't-
dom, it's just hard to get
Yeah.
it from them. I think it's like the hardest offense to play defense against.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time that we would try to roll, they would just run away from it and just throw it to space. Just like, especially because it was like downwind, they would just float something.
Yeah, they were comfortable. I mean, they were good.
It's a shame they won't be at nationals because they really just weren't able to put like a season together to earn a bid. But
I think they are better than
for sure,
5
for sure,
teams at nationals at least.
sure.
Yeah, like they could be a 3 seed in my opinion.
for sure.
I really think Kyle Henke's incredible. I think he's
very good.
And you and TK probably both think that Mark is a better brother. I think he maybe will be, but
I think Kyle's still probably better, but Mark is a far better defender, but that's just because Kyle hasn't played D-line in ever.
Yeah, Mark is just like locked in on D.
And it's different for me too. Well, I guess Kyle did play D in 2021 because he had a broken arm, but Mark is a better defender, and that's just like I just say that Mark is better right now because I know what it's like to be guarded by him, and it's not fun. And I don't really know what it's like to play against Kyle because I'm not playing D and he's not playing D.
But we were down 6-8 at half. We actually got broken at 6-7 to go into half, and that was kind of my fault, I'll say, because I'll never take credit, but I'll take blame. Is we had been running a lot. We were kind of having trouble with their sags, and so we were trying to like clear out the resets to make space for someone downfield. But I was just like, for the last point of half, or last 0 points, like I went to Nut. I was like, "Can we run? Are you fine running a center stack?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then I said, "Okay, are we good if we just send the reset downfield?" And he was like, "No." Like he didn't want to play without a reset, like to just abandon the thrower entirely, and that's fair. I was comfortable with it, but I understand why he would not want to. So like the timing was off. Danny floated one, like kind of having to deal with the seg, and Nut just like couldn't quite get his full paw on it.
It was too high.
Yeah, it was too high. Anyway, so I'll kind of take the blame for that. I should have just either kept the same thing or whatever. Like I knew that what we called the sag was going to be an issue, and then
you kind of got what you wanted. If Danny would have just hit the throw, I think it was just an around flick. I don't think it was the sag. I think it was just an around flick around
and he popped it
around a backhand mark, and he popped it like a hard throw, not like.
But the inside's not really an option there.
No,
I guess
definitely. But like honestly, we get it to Nut there, we're in a pretty good spot.
Yes.
So
yes.
You could take some of the blame, and the execution wasn't there. That's fine.
But we come roaring out of half. We get 3 in a row. Was it
hold break?
Must have been hold break, right?
We definitely held out. Yeah, definitely held out of half.
So we were up 9-8, and at that point, I think we were all feeling pretty comfortable. Like, okay, we should probably like we're deeper. Things will play out. Like there's no like the worst case scenario that I was thinking of was like we will receive on Universe, which is honestly what we ended up doing, but not without some dicey moments. I think it was Was it at 11s when we got broken?
Yeah.
Unless we
how
went
did
down
turn
12-11.
Oh yeah, so that was the
Wow.
Nanda Huck, right?
Huh?
Was that the Nanda Huck at 11s?
So I gotta talk shit to Nanda for this. So double wide. So I'm thinking of like the players. I'm like, who's guarding this person? Like Swiatek is guarding Nanda, and Swiatek is fucking sick. Like he is so good. Like they have so many good players. He's probably an inch from getting a layout block on Nanda. Like it's really close. We have a picture of that we can clip in. And Nanda, being a little douche, points at him when he's on the ground after almost getting layout blocked and tries to throw a full field inside flick huck and just shanks it out the side so
That's
bad.
crazy.
And he has no mark. And he throws an inside flick huck from the flick sideline. Like he could have just thrown a backhand.
And it turns over and goes out.
Literally turns it over out of bounds like 25 yards.
He threw a flick when he could have thrown it back in. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, he had no mark.
That's
And
insane.
he was on the
He
left
shouldn't have
sideline.
thrown it. Like I don't remember who he was throwing to, but he was
Zeke.
too deep. Was it Zeke?
Yeah, he would have had to rip it to the back line. Like it was ridiculous. And then we got broken. To make it happen.
Holy shit.
And then we were receiving to go upwind, and I think we're all a little bit like, fuck. Like, did that
Did that
what
really
just happen?
Then we hold up wind, and I think we broke right away because
We
they
did
didn't.
break
They didn't.
right
hold-
away.
They couldn't hold up wind. The wind was like definitely a factor.
It was a factor. Like
Yeah.
their dom less effective upwind for
Upwind.
sure because
Yeah.
like the way they were beating our rolls really was throwing
They
over
were
the
running
top.
it to the break side and throwing a high release backhand down the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't really do that against the wind.
Mm-hmm. And they were good at that going downwind. And then honestly, like we forced the Dominator backhand, and that worked super well because they weren't as comfortable throwing to space with their flicks, throwing the break space with flicks.
Then 13s. You want to talk about 13s, Quinn?
Yeah. So I also, like, for people that don't, I'm on the sideline. Like, I'm not playing. It is awful. It is so awful being on the sideline.
Did you throw up? I heard you.
I
threw
did.
Up.
I'm like, I haven't like eaten anything all day because I'm like so nervous and like not hungry. So I'm just like over on the sideline at 13s. Like, I'll get there. So we center it. I think we center it to Grant, and then we swing it to Nut, and then he swings it back to Grant, and then Grant literally just turfs a flick. I couldn't tell if it was, and we're going downwind and we're on our goal line. He turfs a flick to Nanda, and it was like maybe Nanda like made a move and Grant wasn't expecting. He like tried to pull back on it or something, but he just throws a flick into the ground going downwind at 13s on our goal line.
Was it the first turn of the point?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like the third throw of the point.
Okay. I
And
remember the throw.
they pick it up, they work it a few times, and they get it to like the
Also, by the
flicks.
way, Zeke had completely dropped Mark on a deep cut.
Yeah.
Like, if Grant had been looking upfield for half a second
could
longer,
have thrown anything. Instead, he turfs it.
except a Nanda flick.
Except the Nanda flick out of bounds. And Nanda played incredible, but that was hilarious. They work it a little bit, and they call timeout on the trap flick sideline. And we play probably 20 throws of defense against their Dominator. They're probably 5 to 10 yards outside the end zone the whole time. And
I think somehow Buck was in that. I forget, was there an injury that got, or was he? He was probably on.
Buck got subbed on for someone because I think they took an injury during the timeout, and so we got Buck on, I think, too. But we played probably 20 throws of like defense, 5-10 yards, and they eventually like got high stall and threw a blade into the stack, and Zeke just like ate it up. And then I don't know what happened after that because I was like dry heaving into a trash can because I was so nervous. But apparently we turned it again and then we got it back. So Mike, you can take over.
Honestly, I'm blacked out now too because so much has happened between now and then for me.
Okay, I didn't see it, but somebody told me Grant turned to Huck. Right?
Was that he threw it out the back to Zeke? Okay,
Uh-huh.
Was that
Yeah.
the same point? Okay,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Zeke tried the greatest.
So I missed that, and then I'm coming back to the field, and they threw a Huck upwind, and Buck makes just like an incredible read on the disc and makes an incredible D on like a deep shot.
Yeah.
And then we work down and score. Buck, that point from Buck was like just an absolute masterclass on defense. It was pretty fucking insane. What he like bailed, the amount of people he bailed out after the first turn was pretty crazy. And then he made a sick play on a deep shot going on the second turn. It was incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they held pretty easy.
And then you probably saw the universe hammer at this point.
Yeah, they held pretty easy to make it 14s. They just ran a Dominator downwind. And then nut through that dumb fucking hand.
So many people texted me about that afterwards.
So funny.
We all gave him love, but we also gave him a lot of shit for that, right? Is that fair to say?
Yes. You couldn't fucking pay me $1,000 to make that throw on Universe. Like, what? Oh, and he kind of missed it too. Like, it was underthrown by a lot. Like, Elliott had to come back to it.
Oh, he missed it big time.
Yeah.
My general response to people has been like, I mean, this is like, it's what makes him great. It's
100%.
It's like
100%.
what it's sure it's maybe the source of some of like the coaching, we haven't done the best job coaching that since he's been in Colorado, but like one of the things that we've tried to help him with is decision making. And you know, when he's at his best, I think he'd agree like that he is judicious, but at the same like flip side of the coin, like nobody calls him one of the best players of all time or best throwers of all time because he
doesn't make throws.
Right. Like he's got the balls to do it, and he had the confidence all game to like deal with the high pressure, like get tight resets, get open, make tough grabs in the reset space. Like after the game, my teammate Joe Ianconi, who's a Walker teammate of mine, he coached the Austin Soul, which I will credit as a big reason why Double Wide's small ball game is so good. Now, he mentioned to me like Double Wide doesn't have a nut. Like Double Wide doesn't have that steadying force, that like constant person who can give you confidence and
not
be
many
that
people
leader.
do.
Yeah, I mean nut is there's just not a better leader.
Probably not.
But anyway, thank God. Thank God, Kyle.
God, dude.
I swear to God he was there and just missed it.
He was like an inch.
Yeah, like it maybe just went over his hand or something.
And like Elliott catching it even with like
yeah, it's like it's almost blind to it.
Yeah. We did it though.
Immediately after the game, I sprinted over to my bag just to put my notebook away, and I don't remember who it was, but someone asked me, like, "Were you ever nervous?" And I just said,
the entire time.
Yeah, of course.
You mean the month before? Yeah.
But anyway, thank God we won, so we get to hang out with kids at nationals.
Hopefully, we never have to do that again. Double Wide won't be stupid.
Yeah, hopefully Double Wide will just get their bid. We can just worry about that.
You can just get some reps in,
2-3 games
just duke it out. Yeah. Yeah, that is insane. I mean, that's epic. That's a big win.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Holy shit.
And probably underrated just because people don't, like since Double Wide didn't have a good season.
Yeah, people don't know how good they are.
Yeah. Like that's a tough one. That's tough.
Yeah.
Are you looking for an ultimate specific training program? Try Brian Nevison's Ultimate Mobility membership. He offers ultimate specific training, customized feedback on your form, weekly live check-ins, full in-season, preseason, and off-season programs, and you can help support the pod by using our referral link in the description below.
Hey dingus, stop using your grandma's cleats held together with athletic tape and step into a fresh pair of Tokais, specifically designed for ultimate frisbee. And while you're at it, support your favorite idiot podcasters using our referral link, tokai-ultimate.com/podpractice.
Over here at Pod Practice, we are excited to announce that we are partnering with Greatest Bag to provide you with all of your ultimate bag needs. If you're looking to get a new ultimate bag, head on over to greatestbag.com. And if you use code PodPractice10, you will receive 10% off your purchase.
We'll give Red Tide a quick shout out. Maybe we'll even watch that clip now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because Bode and Iris, I actually just learned Bode's first real or full name today. Bode played with us at PEC and was an amazing teammate. He was awesome for us. So we all, the Bravo guys, were following along closely to Red Tide's regionals. I think Bode had like a universe guy in the game before the game to go or something like that. I guess we don't have much else to say about Red Tide, but I do want to watch.
Hey, congrats, man!
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Watching their highlight video from Chuck Cleary. It did remind me of how special it is to make nationals when you are like, your team is yours. You have a similar experience as your Kins, but like you guys knew, right?
No, I'm telling you. That's why I think it's funny when you say it. It's like it was
kind of, but
it was actually like a cool Sage Kins moment. Like we won, and I was standing there like feeling pretty, like
proud.
Whatever, and everyone was like, I got to just like watch everyone, like kind of be really, like celebrate, and I was just like, this is cool. Like hell yeah, let's keep it up.
So Vert and notice, I guess looks like Phoenix is a little junky here, or at least
they're showing it for sure, which I love.
Love
it, Fee.
And it takes a few passes to work through it before they have to match up again.
This big lefty handler seems like really big for their ability to break the mark.
I guess we'll just focus on Bode, who's just released the disc, and I'll just let it play as he goes deep.
Oh, yellow hat connection here.
Yellow hat to yellow hat.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So what I wanted to point out, and maybe I'll have you guys comment on anything beforehand, maybe even like how long first yellow hat guy is holding the disc, or maybe it's green hat guy on the sideline. I did not pause it there. It's the LT World player. We'll wait. So that's a fucking tough throw because other guy did not clear that space.
And mid pivot, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
he could not have seen that poach. Right?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
you're not throwing that if you see that poach.
It's kind of the tale of two non or whatever situation, two cities, this dude here doesn't clear the space and makes this throw very difficult. And then, but once Bode makes a similar throw, watch how he attacks. And this is something that I've really loved lately, getting a person in motion and then somebody receiving the disc underneath him because of how difficult it is to play defense on that. It looks so simple.
But I mean, that defender can over pursue deep on Bode and get chunked for 40 yards under if he wants, but like that's not really that much better.
Yeah, you basically have two defenders right here that are caught in this overcommitment cycle. This guy trying to seal the mark, and then this guy, like, he's either got to really respect the deep or get beat deep, which he does.
And maybe I'm seeing the same clips over and over again, but they love getting it to that like wide backhand, wide flick side, and throwing this backhand up the line here. I think they did it a couple of times.
They do it a number of times, yeah. So something to think about when we play them in a few weeks.
That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, just to highlight this again, I don't know if they're FM. I didn't watch closely enough here to know for certain, but this immediate counter momentum back to this active lane.
Yeah, I love how they're attacking like wide slashing cuts too. A lot of them are coming like from off the screen across the field, and even if they don't get it, opens up a lot of stuff.
Yep. Hell yeah, Bode. Nice work.
Go Tide.
Congrats
Roll
to you,
Tide.
Tide. Yeah. Good
Roll
shit.
Tide.
Before we get into my EUCF experience recap, I want to make sure I take a second to thank Mooncatchers for inviting me, specifically Coach PA. Throughout the year here in Colorado, I get to work with a ton of amazing people. But this year, I've had more and more opportunities to branch out. And it was a special treat to work with Moon. The program, the culture, the people, and the talent are all top notch. Don and our tour, it's hard to believe we were just in Hawaii together just this year. I also forget to mention our quarter against Groot. So shout out to my fellow Americans, Jason, Dan, and Anton for running with them. Good to see some familiar faces in Europe. And one final shout out to Wall City for an amazing final. Hartley Greenwald has been so kind to me since I met him in London. And as soon as we scored the last goal, I saw two Wall City players immediately embrace in celebration rather than expressing devastation. I thought that it really summed up the spirit of Wall City's fight incredibly well. And congrats on a great season. UCF.
Yeah, give us the rundown, Mike. What stood out?
Yeah, so much. Like it reminded me, I had a lot of nostalgia for Frisbee in the States like 20 years ago, actually. It kind of reminded me of that. Did you have a similar feeling at Elite Invite?
Definitely.
I loved the atmosphere. Like it felt more intimate than what I've been used to in the States. Like there's something about the clubs. Like I don't know them super well, but it does seem like they've all been together for a really long time. I know like there are transfers, like even both Moon teams are known for having some international players, but like overall, like they have these like cores of players. Like we played Wall City in finals, and they had Schlor and Greenwald and I guess this guy Ridlow who's actually Czech, and
Did they have the big dude from the German
Herkins
World Games teams? Paul Herkins,
yeah,
dude, that guy's a beast.
He's a terror. And they also had Ferdia Rogers, who's not a German, but lives in where are they based out of? Is it Berlin?
Probably.
Or is it? I should know this.
It's Berlin.
What?
Wall
City. Okay, yeah, but the Wall City, duh.
Berlin
okay.
Wall.
What else stood out? Let's see. Public transportation. It's nice to be able to take a train to the fields. That's cool.
Sick.
The restaurant was weird, or the hotel had no heat. We used space heaters, so that was it was like this old building. They didn't check my ID when I came. They just gave me a key, and it was an actual physical key too.
Okay,
and there's only one. There's only one.
I have a funny story from regionals, actually. Yeah, we can get to it in a second.
Okay, do you want to tell it now?
Yeah, it kind of relates. So,
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So Spicer. Okay, so I'm laying in my room. It's me and Maddie, in one bed, and then Plow and Jarv in the other bed. And we're watching Storage Wars, and Spicer just like knocks on the door, and we're like, who the fuck is knocking on our door? And he comes in, and we're like, have you just been knocking on doors to try and find people? And we didn't really get an answer from that, so we thought that he was just knocking on doors to try and find people. And we're like, what the fuck? And it's kind of late at this point. And his room did not text him what number room they're in. So he's looking around, and it's like pretty late at this point. So people are like sleeping. Spicer gets a key from the front desk to a room that the lady thought was his room. He walked in the middle of the night on a family.
No.
Well, I think they might have been Frisbee players.
No,
They were definitely asleep.
they were definitely. It was a family. It was it was parents and children. And he walks in to their room and flips on the light in the middle of the late at night and says, "What's up? Oh God!" and just left. And that was it.
Well,
so this front desk lady gave him a key to a random person's room, and he just walks in.
The way he was telling the story is like he walks into the room, flips the light on, and he kind of is just like he continues to ask like, "Are you guys in here?" But like the whole time, there's a girl in bed
Just
with her
staring.
staring at him. Doesn't say a word, and he just continues to kind of inquiry of like, "Is this the right room?" And she just stays completely silent the whole time.
Oh
I
God.
mean, dude.
And then
insane.
he said he apologized, or I don't even think he said sorry. He was just so shocked.
He just left.
And then he walks halfway down the hall and realizes he just left the light on.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So poor Spicer walked in.
Of course,
on
it
a
happened to
random
Cody
family.
Spicer. So anyway, UCF. I'll try to fly through as much as possible, and you can help me latch on to what is sort of interesting. The team actually. So the women's team is Moon Cup. I guess if you don't know, if you're listening and don't know, I was asked if I would join the Mooncatchers to coach at EUCF this year. And actually, I saw Ferdy at the party afterwards, and he was like, "I'd heard of pickup players, but I'd never heard of a pickup coach before." I was just so confused. So Moon Cup and the Mooncatchers, they actually took a bus from Belgium to Wroclaw, where UCF was, and I don't know if it's like a 16-hour drive or something like that.
Jesus.
And also, they do this the day before the tournament.
Wow.
So pretty crazy way to get there. But I think I know that they had a blast on the way back. Anyway, so our pool is no good from France. Kafum, who's a Swedish team, surprisingly good. They had some really good young players, and then we had Clapham. And I didn't know this, but I think Clapham has been in the finals of every EUCF since 2009 or something like that.
Good God.
Makes sense.
And so they were seeded 7th coming into the tournament, but they were still thought of as
Yeah.
you
You got to see it happen before it doesn't.
Yeah. And they've never lost 2 EUCFs in a row. So they either win them all or win every other one.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that going into our Clapham game. So the first 2 games are fine. Isno was good. Kafum is no good, was good. Kafum was surprisingly very good offensively. We couldn't dispossess them really. And after that game, that Kafum game, I was like, wow, I don't know if our defense is good enough to win this tournament, actually. And I will say that was probably the biggest adjustment for me, was just probably I think the European Frisbee, the offensive things that people are doing are there. the top talent is there. We've known that for some time. Like we've experienced it. The three of us have experienced that this year. I don't think it's just depth on defense. I think it's like kind of how they like their exposure to teaching defense is also just it's lagging. Like how to pre-position, how to like what a commitment level is, like how to commit to a certain extent to like these priority spaces and not overcommit to these other ones. Like a lot of teams are actually trying to implement some stuff that we do with AP, but don't have nearly the whole picture. And that has been really interesting to see because Kins, I know you mentioned like when we started sort of divulging details, I think I was a little nervous and you were like, it won't matter.
Nah.
And you're right. Like it definitely, I think, helps teams in a good way. I like that it's out. I like that things are out there. It's percolating. But the level of detail and the level of focus on certain aspects of things defensively is just not there yet. And that's probably also in part just because like the depth of talent is you can't get into that level of detail if you're working on different things. But anyway, so we play Clapham's at 7 p.m. in the stadium for the pool. And it was kind of similar to our double wide game, actually, where they broke earlier. And they ran some more like poachy defenses. And in a similar way, like how Bravo struggles with poachy defenses, I actually felt like Moon did as well.
Maybe it's your fault, Mike.
It could be my fault. Maybe I'm the common thread. But that game was sort of like one of the ones where Don just became, where he just showed why he's the best, or one of, if not the best, then one of the best players in the world right now. Like his ability to just make plays is absurd. It like how casually he can do it too. Like he every time he played a D point, like he just got a block. Or like he got the most casual hand block I've ever seen, where he just like the guy is like completely turns to the dump and like is extending towards like negatively, but like how quickly Don just like hops from like in front of the guy to behind and then just taps down. It blows my mind how he's able to do that. But I think we were down 6-8 in that game too. I kind of forget exactly the full way that one played out. But we, I believe, won Universe receiving.
What was your role as a coach? Obviously, because you haven't really coached them that much. You were at a practice with them a bit ago.
Yeah. I was focused mostly on offense and mostly with the O-line. So sort of similar to what you're probably used to. Where I had some meetings with them before, maybe one leadership meeting and one meeting with the O-line before the tournament. So we had some focuses, but it was mostly just me giving them reminders and underscoring things that they do really well when they're successful, and just pointing out either what the defense is doing or reminding them to move the disc. It's very simple things. And actually, so the media folks, the commentators, asked me a little bit about like what were the big adjustments that you made when you were down to Clapham. And this was before finals, so we were actually also down to Chevron in semis. Like, what were the big adjustments that you made? Like, your offense was struggling and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't think our offense was ever struggling. Like, there are things that we didn't do perfectly, but I think that that's sort of like what coaching is oftentimes, is like, you guys are good and you just have to remember that. Like, don't forget. Yeah. Like, if you get broken twice and a half, that's fine. Like, were you operating fine? Like, were you having success moving the ball? Then remember that. Like, don't remember, like, they converted, like, we had, I don't know, maybe we were 2 for 7 on break chances and they happened to be 2 for 3. So, like, shit like that. And I think I would imagine the problem, this would be a good question, I guess, to ask the team, but I think the best thing that I could bring to them was reassurance and calming in the big pressure moments, that they were doing okay. And they also have similar problems to every other team that I've seen, where sometimes they can drift too deep. Sometimes they can stay downfield too. I mean, right? We know this. Every team looks upfield just too long from sidelines.
Yeah, it's always the same shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Except Revolver.
Yeah. Well,
well, they're the best team right now.
They're the best team right now.
Yep, exactly. So what was finals like?
It was awesome. We went up. We got the first break, and we were up, I think, 12-8. And at 12-8, they really started ratcheting up the pressure.
Oh yeah.
Conrad played really well. Honestly, they all played really well. But there was this one deep shot that went up. So I wish I could have everything cataloged, but they had this amazing pull. Like, all their pulls are really good. And we had to work it like 85 yards to score. And they had us backed up, because at the end of the game, they started running more and more junk. And as soon, like, every time Don would make like a counter cut, because, he'll make 2 or 3 cuts in the same space and has license to do that, they would just send an extra person and really fuck shit up. I thought they did a really good job with that, actually. So I guess if you're playing machine at Nationals, maybe watch a little bit of Wall City film. So they had us, but anyway, they had us stifled in this 85-yard, possession. And eventually, I think it was Benji, I can't remember for certain, just ripped this huge huck downwind to Sofyan. And it was kind of a tough read. Like, Soph is an incredible receiver, by the way. Like, he had to just like kind of adjust a couple times to get a proper read on it, and then like kind of box his guy out. He comes down with it. He's probably a yard or so outside the goal. And we probably had, a 4-on-2 at that point. And Barsazzi's wide open in the right corner. And Soph just shanks the forehand and totally missed him. And I think it was that point where they then ripped it upwind to Conrad. And I was just dead certain it was too far. Like, there's nobody here that will catch that, especially considering how tired they are. Like, they were playing every point. Wall City was also up 12-6 in semis, and Clapham tied it at 12s. So, like, those O guys had been playing a shit ton. I'll pull it up. I'll find that Conrad highlight and maybe clip it in. But I've never seen a dude just give everything into like one sprint like that, and like his he was just like kind of like
Galloping.
Yeah. And like his hamstrings were full activated, kind of like yours, dude.
Legs, yeah.
Yeah. And then he just legged it out. I cannot explain. Like, it was just really cool to see. I'm a fan of his, I guess, because we get to see him play. We've seen him play a ton in the States.
I'm a big Conrad fan. I haven't had Conrad matchup since probably 2023, and I miss it. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, he has to be one of the guys that does the best jobs on you.
Definitely.
He's incredible.
They all the dudes that do good on me play on pony for some reason. I don't know why.
All those pony fuckers. But yeah. Anyway, so I guess
actually that's wrong. I matched up with him at London Invite. That's right.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
That's right. By the way, now knowing that roster better, man, Germany has some fucking really good athletes. It's
definitely.
It's both Germany and France. We're just crazy athletic. But yeah, they had it. I think they had a chance to tie us maybe at 13s. I can't remember for sure, but we did end up holding on a tipped scuba. Conrad tipped a scuba on the goal line that Soph ended up laying out to catch, and we won 15-13.
Yeah, I saw that last clip. It's very fitting. From what the U.S. people know about the Mooncatchers, it's a very fitting end to the game, like a scuba that gets tipped. That's maybe shouldn't have been thrown. Probably should have swung it, but it's very fitting for the American audience.
The potential with that group though is crazy. I would love to see what they could turn into, because both sides they do have a lot of knowledge. It's just sort of unrefined. Yeah. Similar to Kins, I could do a bunch of shout outs, but it would just
you'd have to do the entire team.
Yeah, it's like I don't even want to.
It was a really cool experience. I hope to be able to work with them again.
Maybe at Club Worlds. Who knows if Bravo doesn't make it?
Yeah, too early to say. Yeah, something like that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, and then at the party, I was gonna say, did you go to a
sick, nasty party afterwards?
It was, it was fun. You know me, I'm not a huge partier, but it was crowded, but all the problem was that all the Mooncatchers and the Moon Cup gals went back on the bus right after the game.
Jesus.
So it was just me, Arvid's, Tom's, Arnott, and David Barsazzi. So there were like five, and Laura, who's
Barsazzi.
Arvid's.
He can be a party though. He can be the whole party.
He definitely could be. But even he was a little subdued. I don't know how much he ended up partying. The little dance area was so small. It was like the size of my office here. So it was just super hot.
Super hot.
But everybody kept asking me things about they just wanted me to weigh in on the differences of the US and
Totally.
European Ultimate.
Totally.
There were some extreme takes. Ferdia would talk to me when he was probably blacked out, so I'll give him some grace.
Hell yeah.
What
was the best? What was the best or worst take that they had?
The worst take was Ferdia, probably, because he almost tried to play with us with Bravo in either 22 or 23.
I think 22.
And it didn't work out. And I don't know if he was bitter about it or what, a little butthurt maybe. He also was understanding because we ended up winning. But he was just talking about this random practice that he showed up to in the summer.
Oh, and I missed this practice. Apparently it was terrible.
Yeah, apparently it was terrible. I was like, I had to ask him, was I there? And when he started describing it, I did start to remember it. But apparently we were just throwing everything out of bounds. Everybody was bad. And he was like, I was the best player there. And Ferdia is incredible. And I would love to have him on the team. But that was probably the worst take. No, Ferdia, you were not the best player there, but you are immensely talented.
That's funny. I did hear about that practice from Bravo players, and they're like, "Yeah, it was fucking awful." I was just like, oh.
Sorry, Ferdy, for that. What else? No, I mean, maybe not. I think most people they tend to talk in extremes when they're drunk.
Totally.
And so everybody that was talking to me was like, I actually, this was another 31. He started to ask me to name like the top players in Europe, who I thought they were. And I started to, but then I sort of stopped myself saying like, I mean, like, I can name people, but like, what does that even mean? Like, why does it matter? And what does it mean? Like, I don't know the players that well. So
It's just like names you recognize almost.
yeah. And then he started to get upset's the wrong word, but I'll use that word because
he was
for
drunk.
lack of a better word. Yeah. That I couldn't name more European Frisbee players. I was like, it's not that I can't name more. It's just like, I don't know how to quantify them relative to each other. Because like, I only have this small picture. Yeah, but it was a ton of fun. I hope to do it again.
Poland, right?
European Ultimate.
That's cheap.
Wroclaw.
Cheap over there.
It is cheap in Wroclaw. Pavel's hometown. Well, I don't know if he's his hometown. It was his birthday last week. I texted him.
You know what's funny? I was watching the Pony machine game on his birthday, but I didn't know it was his birthday. And I texted him, "You're not good, but you look good in this game."
On his birthday?
On his birthday, without knowing it was his birthday. And then, it's just like a Pavel. Like, he just said, like, whatever, something sarcastic, like, in, like, one word. And then I saw later it was his birthday, and I was like, happy birthday. But I thought that was kind of funny, because it's literally the one day of the year that I've texted Pavel, and it happened to be his birthday. Yeah, it was pretty
That's a perfect birthday text for Pavel.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I thought so, too. He looked good. He was really quarterbacking out there.
Sure, not
good. What year was it?
No, this year, because I was watching, like, just a little.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Sweet. Exciting stuff. We'll focus on American Ultimate for the next few months. A few weeks at least.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
The
show.
Maybe we'll do another Nationals preview episode if that's something you guys are interested in. I know Kenny told me he liked that one.
Yeah, those are fun. We could definitely.
Yeah, we could get some people.
I think we'll mix it up this year though. We don't need to just do one seeds.
No, definitely. Like we could do like this. We could like think of like some different. We'll think of something.
Yeah, give us suggestions on who we should get from the Nationals pools.
Yeah, like some sort of like interesting storylines or whatever teams we like. We'll think of something.
Cool.
Sweet. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Be seeing you.